Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Going to be visiting with Amanda Wyss. Movie Star Mondays continue. Working on some good stuff for the next few weeks. So, hey, if you happen to be a movie star and happen to be listening, I could sure use you. It'd be great if you'd reach out to us. JohnandHeidiShow.com, by the way, is the website. Or you can find us on Facebook. But chances are they're probably not going to call me. I'm going to have to track somebody down. So, it's Amanda Wyss. I said when I was getting a chance to visit with her. By the way, she was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Elm Street. I loved her in Nightmare on Elm Street.
She was in Better Off Dead. She did a ton of stuff. Anyway, I said, I've been following you for a long time. She said, oh, on Twitter, on Facebook? I said, no, in person. I'm the guy that's been hiding in the bushes. No, not really. I haven't been hiding in the bushes. But I do. I'm excited for the interview. We got a quote for today as well. We've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are. J.K. Rowling.
Go.
So stride for the light, not for the dark. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
There are monthly subscriptions for razors and coffee and many other things, but this is the best monthly subscription ever. Ladies, listen up. Odiva has a monthly subscription for your monthly visitor. You know it's going to happen every month, and how many times have you been caught off guard? Odiva will send you a box discreetly each month with the products you want, with plans starting at less than $4 a month. Get a special offer right now at radiosavings.com, helping women prepare for their monthly visitor for less. Try it now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It is Monday, February the 19th. It is National Chocolate Mint Day.
I love chocolate mints.
I know you do.
I do.
I'm not a huge fan, but, you know, I'm still going to eat them. So I'm just saying. It's National Lash Day. I wonder if that's like eyelashes or other kind of lashes.
Like whipping somebody with a...
Don't lash out on me
15
today.
lashes.
It is also President's Day. The third Monday in February is President's Day. I can bore you to death with presidential trivia.
Oh, yes, he can.
But I decided I'm not going to do that today. But I will say Happy President's Day to you. And because of that, some people get the day off, and we are not those people. Happy President's Day, though. Coming up later in the program, we've got a lot of fun stuff. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Sadly, more than 350 million people suffer from depression. Scientifically, your actual brain chemistry levels are affected. Now, a breakthrough, safe, and natural non-prescription coffee product has been shown to help. It elevates levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins in the brain, which make you happier just by drinking this special cup of coffee. Many report elevated mood, feeling more connected, having greater energy, clarity, and focus. Try it for yourself at firstcupisfree.com. Get a free sample at firstcupisfree.com.
John and Heidi.
We have your brain on drugs coming up, but first, rapper Remy Ma revealed that her husband once gave her a Louis Vuitton handbag for Valentine's Day, and it was filled with weed. That was a Valentine's gift.
That's awesome.
Why would you reveal that?
Wow.
Why'd you tell people that if that did happen? I don't know. Maybe that's probably
classy.
Really cool for some people. Just not my thing. One time for Valentine's Day, I got my wife over here some chocolate. Do I get any street cred for that? No? This is not cool?
Every bit as addicting, though.
I am not nearly as cool as rapper Remy Ma. Coming up, your brain on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. Pedro Benar Santiago was arrested after he busted a toilet, which, that's not good, busted a toilet in a South Carolina strip club and flooded the place. He got drunk and then kicked the top of the toilet over and busted the plumbing. The bathroom stall started flooding, and then water seeped into the main lobby of the club, causing, quote, massive flooding at this place. He fled the flood, but was found nearby in a local storage warehouse. What? What are you?
Nothing.
What are you doing in a warehouse? He caused $4,000 in damages and was charged with malicious damage to property and public intoxication. And I wonder if he got charged for when he fled the flood. I can't. How do you say it? When he fleed? That's not the right
Fled.
way. But if you're going to say it in the other tense, if he got in trouble for
Fleeing
the flood, I give up. This is your brain on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Sex and the City star Kim Cattrall blasted her co-star Jessica Parker.
I saw this.
Why? This makes no sense. She goes on on Twitter and says, "You are not my friend."
The two of them have had issues for years, horrible issues.
Just don't get it.
And here's the way that I kind of took it. Kim's brother passed away.
Okay.
And so Sarah Jessica Parker went on saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry for all of your loss. My thoughts and prayers are with you." And it made Kim really mad because what she said was, "You're not going to use my disaster to try to make yourself look like a good person."
Oh, but she was just being nice.
Do you really think so? I mean, the two of them have had horrible issues for years.
Feud.
And I do kind of feel like she was trying to kind of use that to make herself look like she's really a good, kind, caring, considerate person. And it's all Kim.
But if she would have ignored her,
Kim
then
was like, no.
If she would have ignored her, then she would have said, "Seriously, my brother dies, and you don't even say anything." So I think that was like a no-win situation.
No, I don't think so. I don't think she expected her to say anything because she hasn't said anything to her for years.
I'm going to just move on. That entire time was wasted on that. I'm going to throw one other. Netflix signed a deal with producer Ryan Murphy, a $300 million deal. In other news, I'm sure Netflix is going to go up soon. $300 million bucks? What kind of deal is that? I don't know what he's producing, but it better be awesome. This is Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
You can have a debt-free education. I know that sounds crazy, but let me save you time, energy, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. My name is Matthew Einstone, and I learned to go through my undergraduate and graduate degree without student loans. Not only am I a living example, but I have 10 years of proven results, not guesswork. So take my first course for free that walks you through my journey and what you can do starting today by going to learnwithoutloans.com. That's learnwithoutloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by Wink Frozen Desserts, online at radiosavings.com. A Bichon Frise named Flynn won the Westminster Dog Show.
I love those little dogs. They're
They
so
are adorable.
cute.
I came in second, by the way. No, I wasn't even. I was not competing because it just wouldn't be fair. I'm quite the dog, though. Hey, Snapchat users are furious with the company for new updates to the photo sharing app.
Oh, that's all I've heard about.
I know.
It's all over my Facebook feed.
Here's the
and
thing
my
that's funny.
daughter. Oh my gosh, this is awful.
She's my daughter, too. I know. I
Our
get
daughter.
it. Yeah. You just made it sound like she's your daughter and she's not mine. I'll have you know, I got hugs for Valentine's Day, so thank you.
Yes, you did.
She gave me a stack of coupons for one free hug. I handed each one of them to her at a time and hugged her again and hugged her again. And she's like, "You don't need the coupons right now." So I can't wait till her friends are here. I believe I have a coupon for a free hug. It doesn't say that I can't do this in front of your friends. Got a feeling that's not going to go well. But it's crazy. Everybody's freaking out about Snapchat. Everywhere else. I'm not on Snapchat. So
No, I'm not on Snapchat.
I don't want to say, but hashtag I don't care because I'm not there. And if it's a big deal, I guess it probably is a big deal. I'm just not there. So why are they going to other social medias to talk about how bad that one is?
I don't know.
You know, do you think Facebook cares? Maybe they're happy. They're like, "Oh, that's awesome." You think Instagram cares? I think they're probably happy too.
don't know.
I don't get Snapchat. I'm too old,
I
guys.
have no interest.
I'm over 40. I barely know how to use a smartphone. I'm just saying, I'm not cool, and I'll admit it. A Mashable survey found that teenagers are abandoning Facebook at a record rate. Well, maybe they'll come back if they're that mad with Snapchat, though. And a video has gone viral of an engine cover flying off a United Airlines plane on their way to Hawaii last week.
Whoa.
So there was an
that
engine
would
cover.
Be scary.
Yeah, can you imagine sitting on that flight? You're like, "Can we please land now?" There's something going on.
Yikes.
Endeavor Airlines kicked a woman off a flight because
At least
she
they
refused.
got on the plane because American Airlines.
Would you
leaves the
stop?
gate.
Would you? Let me. I got two more airplane stories. I put them all in a row, so I'm going to give you a chance in a second here. Maybe we'll run out of time. Endeavor Airlines kicked a baby. No, I'm sorry. They didn't. No. That was fake news. That was not true.
Wow, that trumps my American Airlines story.
That was just I feel terrible. That's not what happened. Endeavor Airlines kicked a woman off a flight because she refused to sit next to a baby that was crying. So the baby was crying, causing a problem, and the lady was the one that was removed.
She freaked out. She was being a
Did you see what happened?
Nasty woman. Oh,
I didn't see. I didn't.
She was horrible.
I didn't know. And then one last story about flying, then Heidi can do her thing. A British man flew his wife to Ireland for Valentine's last week to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. She's a huge fan. So he's like, oh, we're going to go do this. They got there, and they found out the tickets that he bought was not the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was the Red Hot Chili Pipers, which is a bagpipe cover band.
I think that's awesome.
I bet they're getting more exposure right now than they've ever gotten in the history of their band.
Yeah,
but
that's
what
fantastic.
A clever title for a band, the Red Hot Chili Pipers.
Yeah, I love it.
I can't wait. Almost think there was something Heidi was going to say, but we're going to move on because there's one other story here. Calvin Klein guests had to go through 50,000 pounds of popcorn to get to their seats at their fashion show last week. They popped a bunch of popcorn and dumped it all over the place, and you had to wade your way through it. Yeah, they had to wade through 50,000 pounds of popcorn because that's fashion and they're trying to waste popcorn.
What?
I don't get it. I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense.
So you show up at a fashion show in your nice clothes and you got to wade through popcorn.
Yeah, they had to wade through 50,000 pounds of popcorn to get
wow.
the seats. One last thing, Mattel is launching a sequel to Uno. What do you think it's called?
Dos.
How did you know?
Because I saw it.
Did you really? I
Yes.
thought maybe you just were as clever as they are. I think that's clever. I wonder if they'll come out with a sequel called Quattro.
That would be Trace.
Oh, yeah, that's probably right. This has been your Scoop of the Day.
John and Heidi.
There are monthly subscriptions for razors and coffee and many other things, but this is the best monthly subscription ever. Ladies, listen up. Odiva has a monthly subscription for your monthly visitor. You know it's going to happen every month, and how many times have you been caught off guard? Odiva will send you a box discreetly each month with the products you want, with plans starting at less than $4 a month. Get a special offer right now at radiosavings.com, helping women prepare for their monthly visitor for less. Try it now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We have this little thing we've been doing all year long so far, and we're going to try to keep it going. It's called Movie Star Mondays. And we continue today with actress Amanda Wyss. Now, you may remember her from Nightmare on Elm Street. You may remember her from a movie called Better Off Dead. She was Beth. You also may remember her from another movie from the 80s, one of my favorites, called Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She has so many amazing characters that she had a chance to play. We caught up with Amanda Wyss at 80s in the Sand. That is an event that we went to back in November in Punta Cana. It's coming up again this November as well. All of the details at radiosavings.com. Right now, here's our interview with Amanda Wyss from 80s in the Sand. Amanda, where did you get your start? What was your first acting opportunity?
The first role I ever did was a play called The Innocents. I played Flora in The Innocents. No!
While we were talking to Amanda Wyss, Curtis Armstrong was there as well, and they discovered they were both in the same play, two completely different productions of it. But how fun is that? They were in the movie Better Off Dead together, and they both had the very same production as their first acting opportunity.
It was not the same. It wasn't the same production, but just so you know, Curtis Armstrong and I, our very first experiences were both in the play called The Innocents by William Inge. I played Flora, and he played Miles, and it's one of my favorite plays. It's such a beautiful, frightening play. And then I followed it up the next year with Rhoda in The Bad Seed. So I sort of started my horror career early, like in a pre. Did you do The Bad Seed? Yeah, so I love both. So my first jobs were in theater.
So from the stage, you went to the big screen, and what was the first movie that you were a part of?
Well, before I did movies, I did a bunch of commercials. I was always like the California girl in every commercial, from Pepsi, McDonald's, Starburst candy, Jordache jeans. If anybody remembers Jordache jeans, yeah, right on. Aren't we all? It's the 80s after all. And then my first job, not as a commercial or a play, was an episode of Buck Rogers. I played Laura, the wood nymph, in an episode of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. And my lines were, "I love you, Buck Rogers, I love you." And I wore a toga, and I roamed around barefoot on an island. I was his like stalker wood nymph.
You know, I've always wanted to be a stalker wood nymph.
I know, isn't it? It's the best. Everyone should try it.
So then what was the first breakout, like, big role that everybody knows you for? Would that have been Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yes. Before the first movie I ever did was a movie called Force 5, and it was a martial arts film directed by Robert Klaus, who had directed Enter the Dragon, the Bruce Lee film. And I'd grown up doing martial arts, so I was super excited to do this movie. And it didn't quite turn out to be as stylish and fancy as Enter the Dragon, but that was my first actual movie. And then my next movie was Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
And what a great movie to be in. Fast Times at Ridgemont High celebrated a big anniversary here recently, and there's a huge following for that movie. So that's got to be awesome to be a part of that.
Yeah. You know, yes, it is. It is. And it was a really fun experience, and I loved working with Amy Heckerling, especially because in my entire career, I've worked with exactly 6 female directors out of hundreds of jobs. And so I find that appalling, but Amy Heckerling is amazing, and I loved working with her and the whole cast. I mean, obviously, there were so many breakout movie stars from that movie.
And there are several other stars where that was their first big breakout role as well, so it was a good thing to be a part of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Absolutely. The interesting thing about that film, too, as far as the actors go, is that literally every single person in that movie went on to be successful. There's huge movie stars, a bunch of character journeyman actors like myself, and people that left the business are all hugely successful. So it's bizarrely, to a person, that movie sort of created this vortex of people going on to do what they wanted to do, and have their careers having legs doing that.
Now, in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, your character was such a sweetheart, such a nice young lady. You were the girlfriend of the character played by Judge Reinhold.
Yes.
And then we look at another movie, one of my favorites that you're in, Curtis was also in, Better Off Dead. In that movie, you were also a girlfriend. You were Beth, but Beth wasn't necessarily a nice girl. Did you want to be Beth? Did you want to play that character?
No, I wanted that role. I thought it was fun, and I thought the script was hilarious. I actually think that the script is one of the funniest things I've ever read, and I think the script is actually funnier than even how the movie came out. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just sometimes things read. It read like a funny novel almost, and I'm looking sideways. You can't see because I'm getting Curtis's approval, which I always seek. I'm seeking Curtis's approval is what I'm saying. And I wanted to be a coat hanger. I mean, who doesn't?
And that is really cool because the character that was played by John Cusack, in his closet, he had all of his clothes hanging on coat hangers that had your head on them. So you are a coat hanger.
Yeah, I mean, I will go down in infamy. I'm a coat hanger. Yeah, I seek nothing else. My life is complete.
This concludes the first half of our interview with Miss Amanda Wyss, and we're going to continue right where we left off next Monday as we continue with Movie Star Mondays on the John and Heidi Show. I've got a link to all of her social media at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Many people think they cannot enjoy something delicious if you're watching your calories. But with Wink frozen desserts, you can. There's only 100 calories per pint. And listen to this, it's sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, nut-free, and egg-free. Good thing it's not taste-free, but it is fully vegan-friendly. Wink was designed by a family that struggles with celiac disease, so they had to change their diet. But many people are choosing to eat better, and Wink frozen desserts could be an amazing choice for you. Find Wink frozen desserts at radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The state of Wyoming has only 2 escalators in the entire state.
Huh.
So apparently the escalator salesman that covers that territory, not so good. He's like, hey, would you guys like to buy an escalator? They're like, no, not really. Thanks anyway. Elevator people already got to us. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The tallest mountain in the world is where?
I don't know.
It's in Hawaii. Most people think it's Mount Everest, but no. Mount Hawaii? No. Hawaii's Mauna Kea is over 33,000 feet tall. Mount Everest is 29,000 feet tall.
Huh.
So I'm not exactly sure why. It says most of it is underwater. Maybe that's why.
Oh, okay.
It says enough of it is above water to make this dormant volcano the highest point in Hawaii. Oh, I see. They got a picture where it's going all the way down. I don't know if that really counts then. Does it? Does it really count if you're going all the way to the bottom of the ocean? I don't know. That feels like a trick question to me. And one last fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Since it's President's Day, we got to squeeze this in. President John Tyler, he was the 10th president of the United States. That's before Abraham Lincoln, way, way, way back. And you know what? He still has living grandsons. Not great-grandsons, but living grandsons. He had 15 kids. His daughter was younger than him. Their youngest children had children who are still alive today, so his grandchildren. How crazy is that?
What? How is that even possible?
It's possible. Apparently they lived a while, so.
Wow.
A couple of fun facts for you right here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Sadly, more than 350 million people suffer from depression. Scientifically, your actual brain chemistry levels are affected. Now, a breakthrough, safe, and natural non-prescription coffee product has been shown to help. It elevates levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins in the brain, which make you happier just by drinking this special cup of coffee. Many report elevated mood, feeling more connected, having greater energy, clarity, and focus. Try it for yourself at firstcupisfree.com. Get a free sample at firstcupisfree.com.
John and Heidi.
'Tis time now for the grandiloquent word of the day.
Alrighty.
Good one today.
I like this one.
Dowsabell.
Dowsabell.
Dowsabell. It's a noun. D-O-W-S-A-B-E-L. Dowsabell is a noun that is a word that means a sweetheart or a lady love. You are my Dowsabell, Heidi.
It kind of sounds like it could be a first name.
Like
Dowsabell.
Dowsabell Smith?
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be. That would be a pretty fancy name.
it would.
It says from the Latin dulcibella, feminine given name from dulce, sweets, and bella, beautiful. So it was a name. Dulcibella was a person's name, it sounds like.
Oh.
Anyway, probably not real common these days. But
Probably not, no.
Dowsabell is our grandiloquent word of the day.
John and Heidi.
You can have a debt-free education. I know that sounds crazy, but let me save you time, energy, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. My name is Matthew Einstone, and I learned to go through my undergraduate and graduate degree without student loans. Not only am I a living example, but I have 10 years of proven results, not guesswork. So take my first course for free that walks you through my journey and what you can do starting today by going to learnwithoutloans.com. That's learnwithoutloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for some weird news brought to you by firstcupisfree.com. A man in China with an unusual surname, Tang, T-A-N-G. Wasn't that the orange juice from the 80s?
I don't think that's an unusual surname in China.
Oh, well, I don't know. It just says on here it's an unusual surname. But maybe whoever typed this thought it was unusual, just like I did. He dropped his iPhone in the toilet, which that right there already makes this weird news. But here's the worst part, because that would be awful to drop your phone. He went after it, and he got his arm stuck in the toilet.
Oh my gosh, how far down was he digging
I know.
for it?
He was drinking with some friends, which, you know, right there is the first problem. You know that this was not something you would have done sober. And he dropped his phone because he was using the restroom and somehow was using his phone while he was doing... Anyway, who knows what he was doing. He dropped his phone in the toilet. He got down on his hands and knees, stuck his arm in the toilet, trying to grab it, couldn't reach it, kept pushing his arm in further, all the way up to his shoulder.
Oh, smart.
That's up here. That's a long way. He realized two things. He was not going to get his phone, and his arm had now been stuck. Too embarrassed to call for help. After 20 minutes, people that were with him apparently were wondering where he was, but a janitor found him on the floor, called firefighters. They saved his arm. His phone, by the way, that's another story. So I got a link to this weird news on our Facebook page. Weird news brought to you by FirstCupIsFree.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com. A San Diego man robbed a 7-Eleven and then had to break into his own car because he locked the keys in there.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's not good. He used a shotgun to rob the store, then went outside, realized his keys were locked in because, he was in a rough neighborhood. He didn't want somebody stealing nothing in. So he had to break the window out of his own car. Witnesses say he smashed the window of the car, found his keys, then drove off. Based on their description and the weapon used and the getaway car, robbery detectives believe the gunman may have been the same man who robbed cash and pornographic magazines from an adult bookstore about 24 hours before this. The suspect, described as a Hispanic man in his 20s with a heavy build, wearing a black hat and a red-black sweater. So there you go. I think that's really just kind of funny that he had to break his window out. He probably didn't get... What are you stealing from a 7-Eleven?
Right.
I mean, from any convenience store. When's the last time you've seen a human person use cash? I mean, everybody's using cards. What are you going to get away with? Like $15?
Yeah, exactly.
You probably had to spend more to fix your window.
Probably.
So, here's the moral of the story. Don't go robbing stuff.
Just don't steal from anybody.
Don't steal nothing. It's a bad idea. Your moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
Many people think they cannot enjoy something delicious if you're watching your calories. But with Wink frozen desserts, you can. There's only 100 calories per pint. And listen to this. It's sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, nut-free, and egg-free. Good thing it's not taste-free, but it is fully vegan-friendly. Wink was designed by a family that struggles with celiac disease, so they had to change their diet. But many people are choosing to eat better, and Wink frozen desserts could be an amazing choice for you. Find Wink frozen desserts at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
We've got some good news to get to, but first, take a listen to this. This could have been our good news. It's a neat story. A woman in China for years has felt remorse for stealing a bar of soap when she was 12 years old. So 18 years later, she's in her 30s now, she has gone back to make up for her crime, went back to the same store where she had stolen one bar of soap 18 years ago, and replaced that bar of soap with 100 bars of soap that was the same as the one she shoplifted. So she said, you know what, I really feel bad that I did this, and I apologize, and here's 100 bars of soap.
Wow.
She
That's pretty
shoplifted
impressive.
those on the way there, by the way. She didn't really. I just think it's really cool that she did that. That's really neat. Couple of great things to get to for our good news. That is on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think we have some good news for you today. Our good news brought to you by Odiva, the monthly subscription for Ladies Monthly Visitor. More information at radiosavings.com. So here's the headline. Woman calls out clueless teenage girl who made fun of her brother, then vows to pray for her. You know this story. You sent it to me, right?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Yeah.
So, in a heartfelt defense of her brother, a Lexington, South Carolina woman took to Facebook to vent when a teenage bully, tried to ruin her brother's prom night experience. That's not nice.
No.
Not at all. Adriana Keckley McCullough called out a teen girl and her friends for picking on her brother Ruben, who she called a self-declared local celebrity after one of the best nights of his life. And he had a chance to go to Tim Tebow Foundation's Night to Shine prom.
Which is an amazing event, by the way.
I've had a chance to help at that.
Wonderful.
It is such a cool thing. It is so cool. So this group of teenage girls, provoked by one girl in particular, made it a very uncomfortable experience after Ruben turned around and smiled at her. In an interview with a news station, the sister explained that when other people laugh, Ruben loves to laugh. But when he did this last night, the girls started snickering at him. So they were not being very nice to the young man.
Yeah, so then when they started laughing, even though they were laughing at him, he started laughing too.
Yeah.
And fortunately for him, he wasn't aware that they were being rude and horrible and mean. And he was still enjoying his evening, but his sister was furious. And I don't blame her. I would have been too. The kid looks like such a nice kid, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And in here there's...
And if you haven't taught your children to just be polite and respect everyone, whether they're different from you or not, then shame on you.
Love
and
one
if
another.
you find that your kids are doing this to somebody, you better get it under control, because that is not right. Nobody deserves to feel like they are less than someone else ever.
Absolutely.
And those sort of things just really make me so angry.
Well, there's a great link on here. You can see the whole story, and you can see where people came to the defense when this was posted online. Not of the girl that was being the bully, but of this young man.
Right.
So it's a heartwarming story. Again, we've got a link to it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Monday. Thanks for listening.